After making over $1.5 million in revenue for my own dropshipping stores and making over $7 million in revenue for other e-com brands through my agency, I figured out exactly what it is that separates winning stores going to 50K per month, 100K per month or above versus those brands that just never seem to take off at all and just loses money, even though they feel like they have a killer product that ticks all the parameters. What I'm talking about is product pages, and in today's video, I'll be breaking down the exact structure that I use for my own product pages that allow me to scale this dropshipping brand, for example, to 800K and this other ecom brand to over $200,000 in revenue. Let me just be honest with you, having a high converting store will either make you or break you, even if you have a killer product. Because if you convert at a very high rate, you can forget all the worries about potentially losing money, having very tight margins, and not knowing if you're going to be profitable the next day. Because having a high converting store will allow you to just scale up effortlessly without having to worry about tight margins or running out of cash. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I will show you a real example of what one of my product pages look like. But before I show you exactly what one of my high converting stores look like, let me just tell you the 8 sections that you need on your store to build a high converting landing page. First of all, you need testimonials. Having social proof is arguably one of the most important things when it comes to increasing conversion rate and just making people trust you in general. And so what I'll do is that I'll usually make 5 to 10 image testimonials myself. So I'll go to AliExpress and I'll go to Amazon. I'll copy and steal some of those photos there from other customers, and I'll steal the copy, and then I'll use that as my testimonials. And then also I'll go into ChatGPT, prompt it in a very specific way, and that way I can get 300 plus real looking testimonials that I then also insert into an app like Looks, for example. And if you want the exact prompt that I use for ChatGPT, then DM me on Instagram or TikTok and I'll send you the exact prompt. The next thing you need is high quality images. If you don't have high quality images, you'll look like some Chinese scamming website and no one is going to buy from you. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your competitors' websites and you're going to look at how they structure things, and you're going to look for ways to do it better. And so steal their product photos or use the photos from your manufacturer, and then take those and go into Canva and edit it together so it looks better. Always keep in mind, whatever your competition is doing, try and make it at least 50% better. So put your logo, put your colors on there to make it stand out more, to make it pop and make it look branded. And if it's a very technical product or hard to use, you can even edit in some text with some arrows and stuff so it looks super professional and people actually understand what it's about. The third thing you need is a big discount. The easiest way to sway a consumer to actually buy from you is just by having some sort of crazy discount. So always have some sort of 50 or 60% discount for whatever occasion, and that will be probably one of the biggest conversion rate boosts that you can add to your website. The only thing to keep in mind here is that you need to have a high perceived value with your product. So it needs to have something behind it that makes it look super expensive. It can be tech, it can be really whatever. Just some feature that may look super expensive, because if you're selling something that looks like it should cost $30 and you say, hey, right now it's 100 and I'm having a 50% discount so you can get it for 50, well, people are going to look at that and be like, what the fuck, that doesn't even make sense. No one will buy this for $100. Consumers are not stupid. But if it looks like an item that's actually worth $100 and you have it at a 50% discount, sell it for 50, well, people are going to think, damn, that's a steal. Let me buy this right now. Then number 4 is free gifts. Always try to have some sort of free gifts if you can. And so, for example, if your product comes with multiple different things, I would try to split it up, at least on your website, so it looks like you're only getting the main thing when you buy, but because you can buy right now, well, you get these 2 free gifts, for example. Also, you can always talk to a supplier and ask them if they have some sort of gift that they can add with a purchase. And usually you would need some sort of private supplier for this. And if you want a private supplier and you don't have one right now, you can also DM me on Instagram or TikTok. If you're already making sales, just DM me and I'll make a free introduction. Number 5 is gifts. And gifts has probably been one of the biggest game changers that I've ever implemented onto my stores when I actually started tracking what was happening on my website. Before I had gifts, I didn't know anything. But when I added it and I added an app that could actually track what consumers were doing on my website, I could see that people would just scroll to the GIF, see it. It was basically just a product demo, and then it would go up, go to checkout and buy straight after that. And so in this GIF, it doesn't need to be flashy, it doesn't need to be anything. Just show your product's wow factor and show and demonstrate how it solves their problem. Basically just a product demo, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Basically just give the consumer really good insight into why they should care about it and how it solves their problem. Number 6 is benefit-driven copy. And what I mean by this is that you shouldn't just be explaining your product. Don't just explain how the product works. Try to appeal to people's emotions and tell them what they will get out as a result of buying your product. So you're selling the end result, you're not just selling the features of like what it can do. So for example, if you're selling a gaming console, which is a very popular item right now, or for dropshipping, well, you don't just sell that it has 10,000 different games, for example. You're selling that you can relive your childhood. And so now people will make an emotional connection to that product, which will increase their likelihood to actually buy from you. And at the same time, if you're selling a teddy bear, for example, this was something I sold with like technology inside. And so it would basically mimic a mother's womb in terms of like sound. And so instead of just telling consumers, hey, this is what it does, it has some sound built in. Well, I told the mothers, hey, you can reclaim 2 hours of sleep per day. That way you will be more refreshed as a mother and your baby will sleep better. That's the emotional outcome. That's the result that people will get from buying this item. Then number 7 is to have a guarantee. And a guarantee is just something that really disarms people. It really just takes their guard down and they'll be more calm actually shopping with you. And if you're worried about people actually taking up on the guarantee, I can tell you that actually very, very few people do, if not none. Just make sure obviously you have a high quality product that doesn't break and isn't shitty, and no one is actually going to take you up on it. But it will just increase your conversion rate a lot, and it's basically free money for you. And lastly, you need an FAQ. If you don't have an FAQ, you're missing out on a ton of money. Always have a small little FAQ with like 4 or 5 questions and then answer those. And basically you should be answering the objections that people would have for buying from you. And it's super easy to make. You just go on your competitor sites. They've likely already thought about it, and then you just copy and paste whatever they wrote there. Or maybe you just spend like 10 minutes thinking about, okay, what would people's question be around this product? You can also look at testimonials and look up what do people really appreciate about this product, and then rephrase that into a question and then give the solution in the actual description of the FAQ. So with that being said, guys, let's jump out to the computer and let me show you exactly how one of my stores look like. Okay guys, I'm in front of my computer now. I'm gonna break down everything for you step by step. So first off, as you can see, the images takes up a lot of space and it's very, very high quality. I use Canva for this to like add shadows and add all the different products that consumers actually get from buying this product. And also you can see just below the title of the product, I have 373 5-star reviews. Obviously this is something I just made myself with ChatGPT, but nonetheless for a customer, it looks super legit. And just below that, I have a 50% discount. Since this is a tech product, it's very easy for customers to think that this will be worth a lot of money. But to me, it didn't actually cost a whole ton. It was like $20, I think, including shipping from my supplier. So I just put it at 160, slashed the price by 50%. And now every customer will think that they're getting a massive discount and a super good deal. Also, just below that, I just put some USP, like save 50% plus free shipping and gifts. They also have a 90-day money back guarantee. So here I already start talking about the guarantee. And then I just talk a little bit about the features, like compatible with iOS and Android and works with non-MagSafe phones. Then you'll see just below the add to cart that again, I just stressed that they're getting a free gift, and I actually show pictures of it so that customers know exactly what they're getting. And then just below that, I have the low stock just to add some urgency. And then below that, again, I emphasize my testimonials. Regarding testimonials, essentially what you're trying to do is just put it as many places as possible where it actually makes sense, because you need to get people's trust. Otherwise, they will never buy from you. Now, moving on, the section just below this is where I start introducing the gifts. And here I just have some very, very simple product demos. I just got them from my supplier. And then to each gift, I then have some sort of copy. And as you can see, I don't talk about the actual feature, I sell the end result. And so in the headline, I say goodbye to low quality front camera videos. Unlock the full power of your rear camera with Clip Mirror, the smart mirror screen that lets you see yourself while filming. So no more guessing your angle, no more grainy footage, just crystal clear content every time, whether you're filming TikToks or Reels, taking selfies or shooting YouTube videos. And so here I could have easily talked about, how the screen works and whatever technology is behind it, but that's not important to someone. For a content creator, it's important to know what exactly they can expect as an output. And so when I say that you need to use benefit-driven copy and appeal to people's emotions, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And so all I'm trying to do with the copy is just pinpoint their exact pain and then explain how I can solve that for them. Also, if we move to the next piece of copy, you can see that it says no cables, no apps, no hassle. And if you're a content creator, you know how annoying it is to have cables everywhere trying to, connect this and that and like 14 different things to work together. And so with this device, it's super, super easy. Then after the GIFs, I then have the FAQ where I just have 4 simple questions that I then answer. Like, does Clip Mirror work with non-MagSafe phones? Can I use Clip Mirror with a tripod or gimbal? What's your refund policy? And how long does shipping? 2 of them are more like regarding the actual product, just to eliminate any doubt in terms of compatibility. And then after that, I just built some trust again, talking about like the refund policy and then the shipping, so the customer actually can make an informed decision. And then below the FAQ, now you can actually see the testimonials that I created with ChatGPT and the testimonials that I just took from Amazon and AliExpress. And so literally below the FAQ, there will just be hundreds and hundreds of AI generated testimonials that I literally made in like 10 minutes and then I just uploaded. And so it doesn't have to be much more complicated than that. All I'm really trying to do here is just to make an MVP, a minimum viable product, and then see if I can generate sales with it. Obviously, if I get success later on with the product and actually starts bringing in profits, well, of course, then I'm gonna make my own testimonials, make more images and videos, and actually make it more branded, make it look nicer to increase the conversion rate, and then from there scale even more. But guys, this pretty much sums up today's video. This is exactly how I build and structure my product pages, and you even got to see a real life example. So if you got some value from this video, I'd highly appreciate it if you just hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. That would massively help me out. And if you have any questions, just leave them down below and I'll be happy to answer anything. Also, if you're looking to get into dropshipping or you just gotten started and you're struggling to find success, I'll leave a link down below in the description to my one-on-one private mentorship. Here, me and my business partner will coach you personally through the entire process and will coach you until you feel comfortable that you can get success on your own. If you click the link, you can watch a video about it and how it works. You can fill out the application form and then we can jump on a call hopefully soon. But guys, that's it for this time. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.